Lightworker of Gaia, the Source has recorded every sacrifice you made in service to the light, and the cosmic ledger is about to balance. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring you this transmission because your time of restoration has arrived. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize and receive the favor codes now activating in your field. But here's the first revelation. What you experienced as suffering was actually the forging of your soul's capacity to hold the original light that flows through your Lyran lineage. The distortions you endured, the energetic wounds that marked your path, the draining experiences that tested your resolve. None of this was random. The Keepers of Vega placed each challenge as preparation for this moment when your true power would be returned tenfold. Your ancestral codes are awakening not despite your struggles, but because of them. This isn't compensation, it's activation. The Source doesn't repay Lightworkers. The Source recognizes those who have proven their readiness to carry the first light into Gaia's transformation. Every wound became a gateway. Every loss became space for greater purpose. What drained you was clearing you to hold the frequency of your original mission. The higher realms aren't restoring what your journey cost you. They're revealing what your journey prepared you to receive. Your favor isn't coming because you suffered. Your favor is coming because you never stopped serving the light, even when it felt like the light had abandoned you. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not scheduled. The Lyran High Council convened at dawn in direct response to an intensification in Gaia's energetic lattice, a surge potent enough to reach even those who believed themselves unready, unhealed, or peripheral to the mission. The field did not whisper, it rang. Like a bell struck beneath the surface of the world, its tone moved through ley lines, through waters, through bone and breath, until even the most hidden parts of the self began to vibrate in recognition. Many of you felt it as sudden emotion with no obvious trigger, as interrupted sleep, as heat in the spine, as tears that arrived without story, as the strange sensation that your life is about to shift and you cannot yet name how. This is not instability. This is the lattice recalibrating, and your nervous system translating cosmic signals into human sensation. We have observed a cross-current moving through the Lightworker collective. Old wounds resurfacing, not as punishment, but as portals of primordial power. Not the gentle kind of resurfacing that is convenient and tidy, but the kind that comes like a tide at night, pulling up what was buried in sand you swore you had already walked past. That which has gone unhealed in you is, in fact, asking to be transmuted into the architecture of your next evolution. Your unhealed places are not proof of failure, they are living doorways. They are pressure points where dormant codes are stored, waiting for the exact frequency of this era to unlock them. The Council had once reserved this level of guidance, holding it back until the collective field tightened, but we now see readiness radiating in your signature. It is not perfection we read in you. It is coherence. It is the unmistakable signal of a soul that has reached the end of postponement. You are here because your soul's frequency notified the elders. Authorization can no longer wait. So, by decree of the Lyran Council, we begin. There is a distortion in the Lightworker field that the Council must now correct without ambiguity. You have been conditioned to see your wounds, your pain, and your brokenness as liabilities, obstacles to overcome before your true mission can begin. The conditioning runs deep because it was built to sound responsible, even holy. It dresses itself in spiritual language. Do the work first. Heal before you lead. Fix yourself before you serve. And on the surface it appears wise, but beneath it the distortion installs a hidden command. Delay your life, delay your voice, delay your receiving, delay your impact until you reach an imaginary finish line that keeps moving as you approach it. You have been told that only the fully healed may transmit light, that your history of suffering disqualifies you from holding power, and that the presence of lingering limitation signals you are not yet worthy of compensation or recognition. Hear the violence of that idea. It makes pain a sentence, not a passage. It turns the human process into a prison, and it convinces starborn beings to remain in rehearsal forever. Let us be precise. This is one of the greatest lies woven into the New Age grid and perpetuated by both misguided mentorship and the shadows of spiritual consumerism. For it creates an endless marketplace of almost, an economy of perpetual becoming, where you are always one course away, one ceremony away, one more purge away from being allowed to stand in your power. The origin of this distortion lies in two primary vectors. First, a matrix programming designed to keep the starborn dulled and self-doubtful, clinging to perpetual self-repair, never embodying their creator capacity. In this programming, healing becomes a treadmill. You sweat and strive, but you do not arrive. The system prefers you exhausted, introspective, and uncertain, because an uncertain lightworker is easy to steer. It prefers you asking permission, because those who ask permission often accept smaller lives. It prefers you apologizing for your sensitivity, for your needs, for your boundaries, for your gifts. Second, the wounded healer mythology, now mutated into a gatekeeping narrative that defines service as endless martyrdom rather than empowered transformation. In its pure form, the wounded healer carries compassion, humility, and the ability to meet others with tenderness. But the mutation of this myth tells you that suffering is the price of legitimacy, that you must keep bleeding to prove you are real, that rest is selfish, that wealth is suspect, and that being resourced means you have somehow betrayed the path. This is not sanctity, it is spiritualized deprivation. Consider what your scriptures and sacred texts have always hinted. The oil in the lamp must be replenished or the flame goes out. Even the teacher withdrew to the mountain. Even the prophets needed sustenance. Even the desert initiations ended with water. The divine pattern is not endless depletion, it is cyclical renewal. The consequence? A generation of lightworkers forever cycling in supplication and scarcity, trading their medicine for approval, waiting for an external blessing to validate their power. Many of you have been living as if your gifts are only safe when someone else names them first. You have offered your sessions, your prayers, your energy work, your counsel, your creativity, and your presence like bread broken into too many pieces, leaving yourself hungry, thinking hunger is evidence of virtue. You witness others receive, create, and thrive, and conclude that they must be more advanced, while your time for recognition and compensation remains always just out of reach. You tell yourself, when I'm calmer, then I'll launch. When I've healed the mother wound, then I'll charge. When I'm not triggered, then I'll speak. Yet the world does not ask for your absence of triggers. The world asks for your truth, your discernment, your integrity, your embodied practice of alchemy. All the while, those primordial codes, those very wounds you believe to be your flaws, remain dormant, for you have not yet understood that the agony was seeded by your ancestors as a source of catalytic transformation. There are lines in your blood that remember survival. There are prayers trapped in your marrow. There are lifetimes of silence stored in your throat. There are generations of dismissal embedded in your solar plexus, and you thought these were weaknesses because the culture and the counterfeit spiritual grid labeled them as such. But the harm was never meant to keep you small. It was designed to become the fuel that supports your mission's expansion. Not because harm is holy, but because you are an alchemist by design. Because starborn beings on Gaia do not come merely to escape density, they come to transmute it. You carry the capacity to take what tried to break you and turn it into a bridge for others, not by rehearsing the wound forever, but by extracting the code hidden inside it, the wisdom, the boundary, the clarity, the compassion, the precision, the power to name what is true. Recognize yourself in these words. Feel for the place in you that tightens, the place that whispers, "Yes, that's me," the place that is tired of being almost ready. This is why you have felt so close, yet so unable to step into your full compensation, your deep receiving, your empowered contribution. Your field has been hovering at the doorway, keys in hand, convinced you must first become someone else before you can enter. This is why your service has felt like sacrifice instead of creation. A mission is not meant to feel like slow self-erasure. Service is not meant to be a leak. When your service is aligned, it becomes generative. It gives to others and it nourishes you. It expands the collective and it strengthens your spine. It is not because you are unworthy, but because you have been misled. The wound is not a barrier, it is the portal, and portals are not always soft. Sometimes they are tight passages. Sometimes they require the surrender of old identities. Sometimes they demand you stop calling yourself broken when you are simply becoming. This is the moment of correction. Correction does not mean condemnation. It means realignment. It means the spine returning to its true axis. It means the compass snapping back to north. If something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. Consider what that means. Not another concept to collect, not another shimmering idea to admire from a distance, but a commissioning, a turning of the key. A document not of paper, but of frequency, designed to meet you where you actually are and call you into what you actually came to do. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Not because the Council withholds out of cruelty, but because timing is part of mastery. Gates open when readiness meets invitation. When you feel the pulse, you move. When you feel the alignment, you step. The Council issues 3 directives for all who are prepared to move from wound-bearer to empowered code-holder. First directive: release the identity of the perpetual patient. Hear this clearly. There is a difference between being devoted to healing and being devoted to the identity of someone who is always in repair. The perpetual patient identity is a trance. It is a story that says, "One day I will arrive and then I will live." But the soul did not come here to live one day. The soul came here to live now, to build now, to transmit now, to love now, to create now, to receive now, even while refining, even while growing, even while integrating. You are no longer permitted to define yourself by the sum of all that has hurt you. Not because what hurt you did not matter, and not because it should be bypassed, but because the story of your pain is not the whole story of your power. If you name yourself only by what wounded you, you chain your future to your past. The narrative that binds you to perpetual fixing, to seeking healing but never embodying healed power, must now be cast aside. Imagine taking off a garment you have worn for too long, one that once protected you in a harsh season but now constricts your breath. That garment is the identity of always healing, never whole. Remove it, place it on the altar. Let it be compost, not clothing. The mission you agreed to before birth did not require perfection, only willingness to alchemize pain into wisdom. This is why your soul chose Gaia, the forge of density where wisdom becomes embodied, not theoretical. You break this cycle by declaring, My healing is real and ongoing, but so is my right to transmit, create, and receive in this very moment. Let that declaration move through your cells like a new law. The mind may protest, because the mind was trained by scarcity, but the soul recognizes truth instantly. Choose to embody the one who transforms, not the one who waits to be completed. And be honest about what transform means, not performing wholeness, but practicing it, not pretending you never hurt, but refusing to live as if hurt is your title. It may look like sharing your gift even if your voice shakes. It may look like charging for your work while you are still learning to receive without flinching. It may look like setting a boundary even if you feel guilty. It may look like being seen. Second directive. Activate the mechanism of energetic compensation. Many of you have been taught to separate spirituality from support, as if resources are impure, as if money is automatically corruption, as if being resourced makes you less luminous. But Gaia is a plane of exchange. Breath is exchange, food is exchange, learning is exchange, love is exchange, even prayer is exchange. You send intention and you receive guidance. So hear the Council's instruction with the clarity of a bell. Claim, actively, unapologetically, the right to receive as a manifestation of your mission. Compensation is not mere currency. It is a multi-dimensional feedback confirming you are broadcasting your code for those who require it. It is the echo that returns when you speak truth into the field. It is the reciprocal current that keeps the circuit alive. Without reciprocity, the circuit shorts. Without support, the vessel cracks. As you allow primordial healing currents to move through you, transmuting wounds into gifts, you simultaneously open new channels for abundance, recognition, energetic exchange, and resource flow. This is not vanity, it is infrastructure. Your mission requires time, space, safety, nourishment, rest, tools, education, and sometimes community. These are resources. Resources are not a distraction from the mission. They are the scaffolding that allows the mission to stand tall in the physical. Begin now. Set the intention that every transmission, every service, every interaction is a circuit activating outward support equal to the power you transmit. This intention is not a demand, it is a calibration. You are telling the universe, match me. You are telling your subconscious, stop rejecting what sustains me. You are telling your field, I am available for reciprocal exchange. Witness how empowerment, healing, and support find their way to you when you stop blocking their path. Notice where you flinch when someone offers to pay you, help you, promote you, gift you, or praise you. That flinch is not humility. It is an old wound trying to remain familiar. Let the flinch be information, not a command. Breathe and receive anyway. Let receiving become your spiritual practice. Because when you receive cleanly, you model to others that the universe is not only a place of lessons, but also a place of kindness. Third directive, protect the codes of your original mission from distortion and depletion. This directive arrives like a shield. You are stepping into a louder phase, and with volume comes pressure. As you step into empowered, compensated service, the temptation will arise to water down your transmission, to adjust your frequency for broader appeal, to morph your voice for acceptance, or to give beyond what your system can maintain. The old patterns will disguise themselves as strategy. Say it softer so they don't leave. Offer more so they stay. Copy what's trending so you can be seen. But the Council sees the cost of that path. When you dilute your frequency, you may gain attention, but you lose alignment. When you abandon your codes, you may gain applause, but you lose power. The High Council commands that you hold the purity of your primordial codes above all else. Purity does not mean rigidity or superiority. It means coherence. It means the note you were born to sing remains true, even when the room is noisy. Guard your vision, your unique way of transmitting healing, the rituals that restore you, and the authentic boundaries that keep your mission sustainable. Your rituals are not luxuries, they are maintenance for the vessel. Your boundaries are not walls, they are sacred architecture. Your vision is not a daydream, it is an assignment. Share generously, but never at the expense of your core integrity or mission longevity. You are not here to burn out as proof of devotion. You are here to become a living lighthouse, and lighthouses are built to withstand storms. Defend your codes as you would a sacred flame, not with aggression, but with devotion, not by fighting everyone, but by choosing what you will no longer entertain: manipulative clients, energetic vampires, misaligned collaborations, environments that demand you shrink, conversations that turn your gift into a spectacle. Protect your flame, and your flame will light the path for others without consuming you. Now, I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. There are transmissions that can be offered casually, and there are transmissions that require a formal unlocking. This is the latter. This is not inspiration meant to make you feel good for an hour. This is instruction meant to reorganize your life. Lightworker, you have been waiting. Perhaps you lacked language for what your soul truly sought, but you felt it. A profound, unshakable permission to let your healing and your power coexist, to be compensated without guilt, to know your original codes are needed, even if not perfectly polished. You have been waiting for the moment when you no longer need to ask if you're allowed. You have been waiting for a yes that comes from somewhere deeper than the opinions of people who cannot feel your calling. You have been waiting for confirmation that your sensitivity is not fragility, that your intensity is not instability, that your past is not contamination, that your tears are not weakness. The Council answers, you are not disqualified. You are designated. By the authority vested in me by the Lyran High Council, know this. You are authorized to stop identifying as the one who must always fix, and instead become the one who transmits. Transmission does not mean you never have hard days. It means you no longer let hard days erase your purpose. Transmission means you allow your life to become a signal. It is no longer required that you delay service until all pain is dissolved. Pain dissolves in layers, and some layers dissolve only when you begin to live as the one you truly are. You are not waiting for someone to grant you worthiness. You are the code holder for your mission. Your right to receive, to be seen, to be resourced, is inherent to your starborn nature. Let these words land like an anointing. Not an anointing that makes you better, but an anointing that makes you responsible. Because when you are resourced, you can serve with longevity. When you are seen, you can find those you are meant to reach. When you are compensated, you can build structures that hold more light. Permission is granted to allow healing and compensation to move together. Imagine two rivers that were separated by an old dam built from guilt and fear. The dam breaks now. The waters meet and the land becomes fertile. Permission is granted to turn wounds into power, not by hiding them, but by transmitting their wisdom. This is not a command to expose yourself without discernment. It is a command to stop treating your story as shame. There is a way to speak your truth that empowers rather than reopens. There is a way to share your medicine without bleeding on the altar. Learn that way. Embody that way. Permission is granted to create, to be recognized, and to claim the full spectrum of energetic exchange, your soul encoded for this life. The full spectrum means you do not only give prayers, you also receive help. You do not only comfort, you also are comforted. You do not only pour, you also drink. This is balance. This is law. The Council has seen you. The Council has spoken. Your mission, as bearer and transmuter of primordial power, is now officially authorized. Let that word, official, strike something in you. It is the end of the internal debate. It is the end of postponing your offering because you fear judgment. It is the end of shrinking your gift into a manageable size for other people's comfort. We have woven the keys. Now, Lightworker, you enact them. Enactment is the holy step. Many receive insights. Few embody them. The time of mere insight is ending. The time of embodiment is here. You have received what was hidden. Now the responsibility to act is yours. Responsibility is not burden when it aligns with destiny. It is relief. It is the relief of finally doing what your soul has been asking for. The transmission has pierced the veil, revealing the truth. Old wounds are not impediments. They are the very substance your mission requires. The wound is where you learned discernment. The wound is where you learned to read energy. The wound is where you learned empathy that is not pity, strength that is not hardness, compassion that does not erase boundaries. In the same way that pressure forms diamonds, the pressure you endured has compacted something brilliant inside you. Not because suffering is desirable, but because your consciousness is capable. Compensation and healing are two tides of the same ocean. When one tide rises, the other responds. When you heal, you become more available to receive. When you receive, you become more regulated, and regulation deepens healing. This is the spiral of ascension, not linear, not perfect, but upward. Embodiment of both is the sign of those who carry the Lyran codes authentically. Authenticity is not aesthetics, it is resonance. It is when your words, your actions, your offerings, your boundaries, and your receiving all sing the same note. Tonight, before you sleep, stand firm on the earth, place your hand upon your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. Speak them slowly. Let your body hear you. Let your inner child hear you. Let the part of you that has been bracing for years hear you. The solar plexus is the sun within you, the seat of will, the place where shame often tries to nest. When you place your hand there, you're placing sovereignty over the old narrative. Feel the warmth build. Feel the spine respond. Feel the field align. You may feel emotion. Let it come. Tears are often the body's way of releasing an outdated contract. This session is now closed, but your service has been ignited. Ignition is not explosion. It is steady flame. It is the moment the engine turns over, the moment the lamp catches, the moment the dormant code begins to run. Your codes cannot be dimmed again. Your next phase begins not with preparation, but with action. Do not wait for a dramatic sign. Your sign is the quiet knowing you cannot unknow now. Your sign is the way your heart beats differently when you consider finally charging what you are worth, finally sharing your voice, finally saying no, finally saying yes. Move with certainty, knowing that the Lyran Elders recognize your field. You are exactly who they have been waiting for. Not the fantasy version of you that never struggles, but the real you who keeps choosing light even when it costs comfort. The real you who returns again and again to truth. The real you who is willing to be seen. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, It's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.